Viewer listener discretion is advised. The majority of the content of this program is not factual. It is highly advised that it not be used for teaching your children from said content, other than making an example out of the hosts of what they should not grow up to be. Remember this, it's the beer talking.
Welcome to the truth about beer.
All the crap that we're interested in. Searching for the truth. Exploring the unexplained. Investigating the paranormal. Subscribe now.
Hit the alert
button so you don't miss an episode.
Ow!
Welcome to the truth
about beer.
and
Let's find out.
Hey, what up? I don't know.
Yeah, it's so weird because obviously we're live here.
Yeah.
Got no issues.
Like
I ran a speed test and everything's good here. Oh yeah, we're good.
It's just StreamYard that it says I don't have a connection to.
That's bizarre. Well, what's up, everybody? Can everybody hear us okay? Everything good? I mean,
It doesn't show it's muted.
no, it's not muted. No, I think we're good.
All right. Well, okay.
Wait for some people to comment to make sure they can hear us.
I'll try it from
Make sure everything's good. That's bizarre. That's so bizarre. It's always fun. All right, Lindsay still looks good. Hey, Arthur, loud and clear. Nice, beautiful.
Sweet.
That is awesome.
Just not on my computer.
What's going on with your computer?
What is turned off? All right, I'll tell you what. I'm going to go to my hotspot.
Yeah, go to your hotspot. This is bizarre. Very strange. I don't know. There's always weird stuff that happens.
And why is that?
Probably because of the topics we cover.
Yeah, it likes my phone. I don't know why it doesn't like your
Right? Isn't
internet.
that a cool graveyard? That's freaking awesome. I'm looking behind me like I can see it behind me.
What did we do before AI? You know?
You had to shoot in a real graveyard. I don't know.
No, we had to find stuff that we could use and not get in trouble for using.
That's right. That's right. AI is a beautiful thing. Embrace it, people.
Yeah, either it's gonna ruin you or
Make your life easier.
make it easier. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, it's been pretty nice. So
I'm gonna mute this and stop my camera before I enter the studio. There we go. Now I got to mute this. You hear that?
yeah, I did.
Hey.
Good.
There we go.
A little doubling going on there. All right. Now we're good. We're all set. That's bizarre. I don't know.
How bizarre.
How bizarre. So what are we doing tonight? Oh,
Yeah, I mean, you were so right.
what's that?
I
We going to the
mean,
last
we were,
minute?
yeah, we had an hour and a half to go, I think, before the show. So we better get everything done right now because
Right.
we're going to be going down to the wire.
And we were.
Oh, no. Yeah, we got plenty of time.
Well, TikTok's not working, so we couldn't get on TikTok. So I have no idea. It's weird.
Oh, that's.
I know. It's bizarre. It's a weird night. I don't know.
So should we make it even weirder and drink a weird beer?
I
Maybe?
think we should. Let's do a quick sponsorship
Yeah, let's do
announcement,
that.
though. So I give a shout out to our sponsor, Project Y Products. Coming out with their products very soon. They're shipping on their way. Go check out Project Y now, projectYnow.com. I can see what kind of night it's going to be for all their available products and their mission to give control back to men's health. And if you haven't checked out their podcast, check out the Ycast. Tomorrow night they have an episode, great episode on men's sexual health. So they're going to have a urologist on.
Wow.
So
should be
should be
I could
fascinating.
benefit from watching that show.
I think a lot of people can. And be sure to sign up to our Patreon account. If you're not, you guys are missing out. There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff from our movie that we're filming. And you're only going to get to see it there.
A movie?
A movie.
Wow.
I'm in the movies. I'm gonna be a movie star. But yeah, it's been
A flying
is there a
critter.
bug? Oh jeez.
It wants my beer,
So
but I haven't opened it.
flying critter.
Wow. Yeah, it's been really crazy the last
It truly has.
month and a half. now.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's been absolutely crazy.
Yeah. We had everything on schedule. And then there was weather that we never get very often.
That was so bizarre that week too. That was just really weird.
That really threw us behind.
It did. It screwed us up. But you know what? The last day we filmed actually ended up being a gorgeous day, and we got a lot of great footage.
We did
from it. So
we really did.
It all worked out in the end, I would say.
Well, the end result will tell.
Yes,
I mean,
we have
the real end result.
Right.
We've got things we put together that are getting us pretty darned excited.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I think I was telling you the other day, just to see it come together. Like if you guys, and Arthur, I know you've done this, you made a lot of videos in the past, but you spend all that time filming, and when you put it all together and you realize you only have 3 minutes of film, it's kind of disheartening in a way. But at the same time, when you see it all start to piece together and you start to build that story, it's damn exciting.
Yeah.
It really is.
Can you imagine though, back in the day, when it was actual film, and they're having to splice it.
Oh God.
Put it all together. And, it all had to be so perfect. And it's easier for us to, pull up a digital, video and say, oh, yeah, this is good. We can cut it here. Goes right back together.
Yep.
And, yeah.
I think it's beautiful, right? Because if you think about it, 20 years ago, I'll say 20 years ago, to really make a movie, you had to be a part of that clique. You had to be a part of Hollywood, right? And now you don't.
Yeah.
I mean, there was always indie films, right? People were always
Right.
making their own little films, but there's so much technology available at your fingertips now where virtually anybody can make a movie. And trust me, we don't have a huge budget for this movie. So
we have a budget.
We do have a budget. But for what we've accomplished, I think is pretty incredible.
Really is. I mean, I can't get my mind off of thinking of the film, because you go back to the point that we've filmed hours and hours and come up with 3 minutes of video.
Right.
Everything that got left off there is on the cutting room floor. All that film.
Yep.
Man, what'd they do with all that film?
Well, I know what we did with it. We put it on Patreon for people to go see.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So you do owe it to yourself to go on our Patreon and see some of that stuff.
Yeah, you guys will be real happy with the results. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun when it comes out.
Yeah.
It's a good story. Yeah, it's gonna be cool.
So much fun.
Yeah, Arthur says the same thing. Ends up with stuff you don't use.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, I think I'm going to send you to get beer more often because you really got an interesting beer tonight, and I'm excited to try it.
Well, it's interesting because we can't really get a lot of information on it.
That's true.
We tried to get more information on it to share with you, and I need to read.
It's awesome. The Art You Can Create Now, an animated movie that won the Academy Award this year, was made with Blender. And Blender's an amazing program. Arthur, I'm sure you're a lot further on it than I am now, but it really is an incredible program. So yeah,
and that's a free program?
It is. It's free. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's a very powerful tool. Yeah. Very cool. Well, I mean, we played around with it with some of our
I really enjoyed
Yeah.
what you've done with it.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's painstaking work.
And I don't even come close into tapping into its abilities.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the stuff I've seen people do. I mean, it's incredible. So excited about it. All right.
And I'm sure we'll be using some of it on this movie.
I think so. Arthur, that's where you're going to come in. We're going to need your help on
it. You'll get part of the credit.
Yep.
It'll be great.
Absolutely. Plus we need more zombies.
Yeah, we do. All right. Well, I'm going to pull up this here beer.
Let's do it. I'm going to bring
one for you.
Well, thank you. I'm going to bring up Rumble too, because I want to say hi to our Rumblers. I don't ever mean to leave our Rumblers out, but
no, they're great.
We can't see them on the comments here, so
they're plentiful. Even
my
like
face
that.
Isn't recognized. Come on, damn AI. Oh, sorry.
I just wish that those comments would come up on our StreamYard.
They will eventually. I think they're going to get there.
That'll be awesome.
Yeah.
So,
all right, cool.
Tonight, we're going to do it's Paperworks Brewing, right?
Brewing, yeah.
In
Pipeworks.
What did I say?
Paperworks.
Paper. Oh, we did Paperclip.
We did.
No, what was it? Paper something.
It's paper something.
Yeah, but this is Pipeworks.
Pipeworks Brewing in conjunction with Dark Sky Matter or something brewing, I think. So
Dark Matter was it?
Dark Sky Matter or Dark Matter or something. Anyway, it was a collaboration between the two.
Thanks if I get this can.
Very cool can art. That's pretty sweet looking.
Yeah. We were wanting kind of a graveyard theme type beer, and you know, go and ask them, do you have any beers that have gravestones?
They look at you like,
what are you doing?
Yeah. So this is a coffee coconut horchata ale, which is interesting. And I've had horchata before. Have you ever?
I have, yeah.
And I enjoy it. So this should be very interesting. What a crazy combination. And it's only a 6.2.
Yeah. Ale with rice, lactose, vanilla, coconut, coffee, and cinnamon.
There's that damn lactose. Am I going to make it through the show?
I hope so. 6.2. So hopefully it doesn't suck.
Well, let's try it, shall we?
Let's do.
I don't even know what to expect. Well, it's going to have a lot of head. I'll tell you that right now.
I privately shook his up before I handed it to him.
Well, maybe not.
I was expecting something darker
for
some reason.
Definitely not dark. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Definitely smell the coffee.
Yeah. That's the first thing I smelled.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
It's very cloudy, so it's not filtered.
No.
But it's an ale.
Well, it's got that color. Yeah. It's got an ale color to it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, cheers.
Cheers.
Let's give this baby a try.
Oh, shit.
Holy crap.
That's really good.
I was not expecting that.
Me neither. Wow. I mean, and the coffee and everything comes through really well.
That doesn't even taste like beer.
No, it doesn't.
It smells like beer, but it doesn't taste like beer.
It's bubbly like beer.
Wow, that's surprising.
Yeah, Lindsay, you're going to like it.
Yeah. Wow.
I think so. Wow.
Hmm.
It's even creamy.
It's that's first thing. Well, that's the horchata, and it probably would. Wow, that's a unique flavor, guys. That's Andrea, Arthur. You guys got to try it. We got it at Total Wine, so you guys can find it. That's.
I'll show the can again.
Yeah, that's an interesting flavor, man. I've never tasted anything like that.
Whoops, there we go.
How many cans did you get? 4?
Yeah,
damn it.
4.
Because that's good.
That really is. Hopefully, get more.
That's a surprising flavor, man. That hit me. Like I didn't even expect that. I was smelling something I thought I was going to taste, but not.
Mama Lisa will love this one too. So make sure I can find some more.
That's really good, man. Okay.
Wow.
It's
almost like a dessert.
So I got to say, I'm going to apologize to Pipeworks Brewing because, we went and tried to look at your website and you need a new marketing guy, guys, because your beer is very good, but the website was not very good. So
we couldn't even find this beer.
Couldn't find that beer on the website. Right.
Oh.
Yeah. So I would have shied away from ever trying one of their beers, but I'm glad we did because this is definitely interesting.
I mean, it was all based on the can art.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which is a really cool can art.
It's a really good beer. I'm really surprised. I'd be curious if you guys try it. Let us know what you think. Because seriously,
if you can find it.
I was not expecting that taste. Very interesting. Very good.
Oh, I just keep doing whatever you're doing.
I just want to sit here and drink it. God.
Wow.
All right. So we are we are talking about haunted graveyards tonight. Yeah, this is gonna be fun. We haven't done a lot of graveyards, you and I, but we've done a few.
We visited graveyards.
Yeah.
And we've shot quite a bit of film. Not film, but taken lots of video.
Video, yeah.
Different graveyards. Can't talk. But we could never really come up with something that we thought would make a good episode.
Right.
Because we're there wanting to find something, get some evidence that we can share. And even though we don't get a lot of evidence at graveyards, or we haven't, I always find them super fascinating because they're like a museum, a history museum.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
I mean, especially the old ones, like the one we went to in Payson.
Oh, that was awesome. That one, the Pioneer.
Yeah. What was the oldest grave there? Did we find? I mean, there were.
Well, definitely went back to the 1800s.
Yeah. No, there were Civil War.
Were they that early? I can't remember. I'd have to go back and watch the video because we did find some.
There were some Civil War. Soldiers.
That was back in that one section, wasn't it? Kind of as you come through that main entry, that was back over on the left corner, wasn't it? Or was it back further than that?
No, it seems like it was closer.
Was it up to the front?
Yeah.
I'll come back and watch it. It's been a couple of years since we've seen that video, so
it has been a while.
It's been a while,
but beautiful places. I don't know when you've been them at night, because that's when we've done a few. Do they seem any creepier to you at night, and as opposed to exploring during the day?
No, not at all.
Yeah,
no, I felt very, because we visited that one during the day, then we went back at night to investigate, and I felt no different. I mean, it was very peaceful feeling. It really was. I mean, I got no other feeling out of it.
Yeah, I think the only one that I've been to during the day that had a little creepy vibe or feel to us when we went to Concordia.
Yeah.
In El Paso.
That was a much bigger cemetery too, though. That was
huge.
Yeah, that wasn't, well, was it because we were hearing the stories though?
Well, I think that had to do with it, but also it was heavy because there was that one section that was all children.
Yeah, that was kind of rough. That was kind of weird to walk through.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I felt any creepier though. You know what I mean? I mean, you always hear people say, "Oh, I would never go into a graveyard at night. I would never, it's too creepy." I don't find that. I mean, even the one we did up by
Oracle.
Yeah. That was no.
Yeah, the up on the hill. Yeah.
I mean, I'm fascinated by him. I mean, like you said, there's a lot of history there. There's a lot of, it's interesting. There's when I go back to New Jersey for work, the hotel I stay in is right across the street from a church, and they have a graveyard in the church lot. And it's beautiful. I mean, it's old. It's very old, but it's gorgeous. I mean, it's like, I don't know. I don't feel creepy at all in these things.
Yeah, I don't either. Well, that's a name from the past. I haven't seen in a while. Was Jenny Love TV? So we were working with Kelly.
Oh, okay.
Her and Kelly did some things together or whatever, I think. I wonder what Kelly's up to. Do you know what Kelly's up to, Jenny?
Very cool.
Yeah, welcome. Where were we?
talking about haunted graveyards.
Oh yeah.
So let's get into it, shall we?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. So we got a nice little PowerPoint to go along with tonight. That's our
Mama Lisa, you would like this beer.
It's very good.
It's tasty.
It's yummy. All right. So wow. It's always so small on here. Jesus. I know my vision's not the best, but so graveyards have a reputation for being haunted because they are closely associated with death, of course, and the afterlife and the unknown, which is interesting.
That is the psychological influence. Graveyards evoke strong emotions and fears tied to mortality. The eerie atmosphere, often quiet and isolated, can make people feel uneasy and more susceptible to perceiving paranormal activity.
I can see that, right?
Mhm.
You can see because you're already set up. You already have that stigma. Well, I'm going to go into a graveyard. It's going to be creepy as shit, but it's really not.
I think a lot of it is psychological.
I agree.
I mean, up front, not saying that actual things don't happen in graveyards or, well, we're going to get to some cool stories later. So
I know. I can't wait for the stories. Residual energy. Some believe that emotional energy from grief and mourning lingers in cemeteries, creating residual haunt where past events seem to replay like echoes in time. Seriously, that is freaking small. I got to bring it. Didn't I send this to you? I got to bring it up on my phone so I could read it. It's way too small on the screen for me.
Yeah. No, I believe that is probably the majority of the energy that you experience in graveyards would be residual. I mean, I don't know why a spirit would hang around with their dead self when they could be visiting family elsewhere and other things or others that have passed on that might not be in the same graveyard. You know what I'm saying?
But is there something keeping them there though, right? I mean, they can't, it's kind of like being stuck between that.
That I guess we'll have to find out.
Yeah. It's interesting.
We have restless spirits. Folklore suggests that spirits who had unfinished business, tragic deaths, or improper burials might linger near their graves. So there's your answer right there.
There you go. There it is.
They're still not accepting that
they're dead.
They're dead.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I can't leave my body. Somebody might snatch it.
I think this is a big, right? This is a big deal when it comes to how people feel about graveyards. Cultural media influence. Horror movies, ghost stories, urban legends reinforce the idea that cemeteries are haunted, making people more likely to interpret strange sounds or shadows as ghostly encounters. So that kind of talks about, we talk about going into an investigation, right? Especially when you're new at it, you go in with a heightened sense, right? Because you think something's going to happen, you expect something to happen. So then your brain starts interpreting things in that way, right? That, every little movement, every little shadow you see,
right,
it's automatically paranormal, which, we've ran into plenty of things that were definitely unexplained, but not everything's paranormal.
Yeah.
So,
that's where the first one comes into play along with that, where it's the psychological part of it. You're already jumpy, so.
Yeah.
So it brings us to, yeah, I'm going to tell that story, Lisa. I think I will have to bring that one up because that was very interesting. So natural explanations, misinterpreted.
Okay.
So many ghostly experiences in graveyards can be attributed to natural causes like fog, optical illusions, animal movements, or sounds amplified by the quiet. Okay. And yeah, one thing I started to do a while back when we were in Texas is there's a Facebook page that was Haunted Texas or something like that. And people would post, pictures and things.
Right.
And so I always found it interesting to go and look at the pictures and see if I could explain, if I could find an explanation for what I seen. And there was one that really caught my attention that I was sold on it being a spirit running through the graveyard for a good 5 or 10 minutes. But then as I kept blowing it up and watching it, I could tell that it had to been car lights reflecting off of something, you know, just the way that they dodged through, because it wasn't like a fluid motion behind each grave. It kind of had this, you could see it reflect in the foreground.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
On each grave. But it was very slight, but you can't pick that stuff up. But yeah, I mean, there's practical explanations for a lot of stuff, but once in a while you get some very unexplainable ones.
Yeah, you do. I mean, what about when we were in Payson, speaking of which, what about that chanting we heard?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that was picked up on our parabolic
Mm-hmm.
microphone. And yeah, we heard Native American chanting.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, I mean, I don't know how to explain where that could have came from at that time of night.
Yeah, because it was like 10 o'clock at night, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And yeah, there was the occasional car that would pass by with music blaring, but there wasn't a lot of traffic in that area. Not like Globe, when the town comes alive at midnight.
Yeah, a little too much.
Yeah, it wasn't so much in Payson though. So. All right, so some of the things you'll experience at a graveyard, you'll see full-bodied apparitions, right?
Is there another slide?
There's another paragraph up top, but I can't read it because it's cut off.
Oh, this is slide 2, aren't is that?
Yeah, it's slide 2. Yep. Yeah, it just says here are some of the types of ghost sightings people claim to experience in cemeteries.
That is on the next one.
Yeah.
So okay, there we go.
Full body apparition, shadow figures, phantom lights. That could be kind of what you were just describing, right? Mist and ectoplasm. I don't know if I've ever seen ectoplasm anywhere, but that's interesting. Disembodied voices and sounds. We've heard that before on occasion. And then cold spots and sun temperature drops. We've had that.
We have.
Definitely had that. I should probably advance the slides too. Huh? Were you doing it?
Yeah, that's
okay.
What I did that.
Sorry.
One. Yeah. No, you're reading. I says, isn't that the next one? So that's why.
Okay.
I moved it forward.
So we decided to pick, I would say, the top 5 haunted cemeteries in the U.S. Probably. I mean, there is one that wasn't in here that I'll talk about later that I was surprised wasn't in here, but we can get into these ones. Do you want to get into your story first, or do you want to get into?
Oh, well, I guess we can.
Because that story is fascinating.
Yeah. So during our stint in Texas, we had our granddaughters that we were getting reacquainted with, and they loved it. The Mama Lisa and I were into ghost hunting and stuff. So they were always asking us, can we go? And,
Right.
We went one time with their parents to a little graveyard. And that's the thing with Texas. I mean, there are all kinds of tiny little graveyards just all over the place.
That's cool.
And this one was, we didn't last long because we were all getting eaten alive.
Mosquitoes.
Yeah. So we decided to try it again another time. And, but the second time that we went, we tried to find that graveyard again, and we did find it, but it was all fenced off. So they were doing maintenance or something in there. So we said, all right, well, we'll go to the big city graveyard there in Greenville, Texas. And so we pulled the car way back, to the middle, because I don't want people driving by seeing our car parked out there at night. But so we get out, and crazy thing is, anytime Mom and Lisa is with me or we're doing ghost hunting stuff, she turns on her ghost tube, right? And without fail, it's always deceased members of her family's names.
Really?
That pop into the ghost tube. And
fascinating.
I know one that she got from her grandmother. So she just, it was like, just wanted to see you, or wanted to talk to you, or, she got that kind of message. And so that's how this night started off. So she was pretty, feeling good. And our granddaughter's like, yeah, wow, this is awesome. So we give her a K2 to carry around. And back kind of at the back of the graveyard, there was one area that this grave was just super lit up. It looked like a party was going on there, is the way it looked. And so we went back and looked at this one, and they had all kinds of streamers and just flashing lights, and it was I mean, it should be a kind of a happy feeling, but it wasn't.
It wasn't.
I mean, yeah, it was just kind of really heavy there. And then all of a sudden, everything that was coming through on Ghost Tube and whatnot was all kind of negative stuff. Like, leave. I want to be alone, blah, blah, blah. Just, and so we're looking at the grave, and the family definitely put a lot of money into this grave to preserve their daughter's memory.
Right.
And the girl, her name was Cheyenne. It's not going to make me emotional. No. Anyway, that happens to be my granddaughter's name too that was with us. So
yeah.
Her name was Cheyenne, and they had her headstone and etched into it her image, and
really?
she's wearing like a Letterman's jacket, and she passed away at 27.
Wow.
And looked like she was like maybe a cheerleader and all that fun stuff there in Greenville. And every time would try to do any kind of communicating, it was just like, leave, get out of here. So we said, okay, we're gone. So we left and went down to the end of that same row where she was at, but it was quite a ways. It was a huge graveyard. And so we're just trying to get ideas of, who wants to talk to us, where should we go, and all that. And then we get the message come through. I'm trying to think exactly how it worded, but it was basically saying, find a light.
Oh.
And so the only place in that graveyard that had a lot of light on it was her. I thought, well, you want us to come back? And yes, okay. So we get back there, and then it was heavy again.
Wow.
And so we thought, okay, we can't deal with this right now. So we went the other direction. And so my granddaughter decides she was going to Google the girl's name.
Okay.
And so she Googled her name and found out that she had died of fentanyl poisoning.
Oh, shit.
And yeah. So it got kind of heavy, because then we realized that the energy we were feeling at her grave was more her being really pissed off at what had happened.
What happened? Right.
I think she knew her family loved her plenty because they put a lot into it. And, but just the energy that went to her grave with her was not good.
That's crazy.
And so here's the crazy part. So this was maybe a month later, maybe 2 months later, they had an assembly at the kids' school.
Okay.
And it was like a drug awareness type of a.
I'm not crying. I have allergies. Seriously. My eyes were bugging me before the show.
So anyway, of course, my granddaughter's in there watching this assembly, and then this mom gets up and starts talking. See, this is going to kill me.
It's her mom?
Yep.
Oh, Jesus.
And she told the whole story.
Wow.
And it was very sad.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So there's a video on YouTube too that we found, or it's her. I think it was her mom on that too that tells the story, because they're making it a big awareness campaign. Their kids don't fall into that. And
that's crazy.
It's just a very sad story.
Wow, that's crazy. But how cool you got to witness that, in a way, right?
Yeah. I mean the energy of it, I guess that's why it hit really hard. When as things came to light on what it was all about, it was like, it all just makes a lot of sense.
Right.
So, but yeah, that was the last time we went ghost hunting in Texas. Was that night. But not because we didn't want to go again. It's just we moved back here. Ran out of time.
That's crazy. That's a crazy story. All right, that's the show. Just kidding.
I get so emotional. I don't know why.
Well, because you experienced.
Well,
it.
that was an experience.
Yeah, it's crazy. And my eye just won't stop tearing. It's been itchy since we started the show. It's like
And this beer is
that
very
a sad story.
makes us very happy to drink this beer tonight.
It does. Very good beer. All right. So getting into some of the cemeteries that we decided to feature.
Yes.
So, and some of the stories associated with it.
So we got the St. Louis Cemetery, which they say is the #1 haunted cemetery in the United States. In New Orleans.
New Orleans. So this cemetery is the resting place of voodoo queen Marie Laveau. It's Laveau, right? And
Yeah, Laveau.
Is her last name. Whose spirit is believed to grant wishes or curses if her tomb is marked with an X. That's interesting. Visitors have reported experienced ghostly whispers, shadowy figures, and feelings of unease. It is one of the oldest cemeteries in New Orleans, featuring above-ground tombs, a unique architectural style that can contribute to the eerie atmosphere. So, interesting. Some of the other things. Well, let's get into some. You want to get into some of the experiences, or
Sure. No, I just wanted to add to that, though. That was a bucket list item to do, because it was only like a 6 to 8 hour drive, I guess, to New Orleans from.
That's true. You were close, huh?
From where we were, and I really wanted to go, but we never made it.
Never made it.
Dang it.
Well, you can always go back.
Yeah. So, Marie Laveau.
Yeah.
Many claim to have seen the spirit of Marie Laveau, the famed voodoo queen, wandering near her tomb. Some describe a woman in a turban and flowing dress, while others report hearing whispered prayers or seeing offerings mysteriously moved. Ooh. Some who have disrespected her tomb say they felt sudden scratches or an overwhelming sense of dread.
So don't mess with her.
Don't.
Not a good thing. I think I've heard this story before. The wandering man in the green jacket. Several visitors have reported seeing a man in an old-fashioned green jacket walking among the tombs, only to vanish when approached. Some believe he's a restless spirit from the 19th century, while others think he could be a gravedigger or caretaker from long ago.
I think I like the second part of that.
Yeah.
That's what he is. Someone that took a lot of pride in his work, or,
And that's where he stayed.
No, pride's the right word, or, but took, knowing that he had done his part to bring closure or whatever to families by respecting those graves.
That makes sense.
As a
caretaker.
Yeah. That's a pretty slick green jacket he's got there.
Right. I like that.
Disembodied voices and phantom touches.
Ooh.
I think you've had a phantom touch.
I think I did. I believe I did.
Yeah. People touring the cemetery often hear voices whispering their names, footsteps behind them when no one is there, or even feel a cold touch on their shoulders or their hands. Some have, I put the hands in there.
I don't know.
Okay.
That's where it was.
Some have reported their cameras malfunctioning or capturing shadowy figures that weren't visible at the time.
So we've had a little of both happen, right? We've had our cameras malfunction while we were doing an investigation. We've also seen shadow figures. The jail is a great example of one that we've seen. They're definitely real.
Mm-hmm. Well, even more recent, the Elks. Is the Elks what it's called?
Yeah.
Down in the basement.
Yeah. Oh yeah, back in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was freaking weird.
It was a crawl space. It wasn't even a room. It was just a.
It was a crawl space. Yeah. That was creepy. That was weird. Very strange. Everybody saw it. All right. The extradition and cursed wishes. For years, people believed that marking 3 X's on Marie Laveau's tomb and making a wish would grant them forever. However, some who attempted it, especially without permission, have reported sudden misfortunes, injuries, lost valuables, or eerie encounters, leading many to believe they were cursed.
Yeah. when it comes to, I have a lot of respect for the voodoo religion. That I would tread very lightly on a lot of that.
Yeah, absolutely. The 3X's is interesting, though.
Hey, look, what's on the can? Our beer can tonight.
There's an X. Look at that. Oh, crap.
So it was an inspiration.
Did we ask for permission?
It's going to bring us good luck, hopefully.
Hopefully. We'll see.
Bachelor's Grove Cemetery in
Illinois.
Midlothian, as I said. Midlothian?
Midlothian.
Midlothian,
I think. Diverse and intense paranormal activity. Considered one of the most haunted cemeteries in the country. Includes reports of phantom cars, disappearing buildings, and ghostly monks. A famous photo captured the White Lady, or Madonna, of Bachelor's Grove sitting on a tombstone. Paranormal investigators have also recorded strange energy fluctuations.
I want to know about buildings disappearing.
Right? And the cars, too. That's interesting. That's kind of bizarre.
So this is the Madonna of Bachelor's Grove.
Yes.
Also known as the Lady in White. One of the most famous ghostly images ever captured was taken at Bachelor's Grove in 1991. So it wasn't that long ago,
No,
really.
No.
By members of the Ghost Research Society. The photo shows a spectral woman in a white dress sitting on a tombstone, looking forlorn. Many visitors looking forlorn. Okay, period.
There you go, period.
All right. Many visitors claim to have seen her wandering the cemetery, believed to be the spirit of a grieving woman searching for her lost child. I've heard that story in different locations too, of the grieving woman looking for her child.
Yeah.
Can't tell you exactly where, but I know I've heard that story in other contexts too.
You probably heard this one and didn't realize it was that cemetery.
Could be.
Right.
Very well could be.
So this is interesting. The ghostly horse and plowman. The legend tells of a farmer and his horse who drowned in a nearby pond when their plow got stuck. Several visitors have claimed to see a ghostly horse and plowman emerging from the water before fading away.
Wait. The horse died too?
I guess, yeah.
That's the saddest part.
That is really sad.
Wow.
That's crazy. Can you imagine that? I mean, if you actually saw something like that, that would definitely creep me out.
See, now I want to know about this. So the vanishing car on the road near the cemetery, there have been multiple reports of a phantom car appearing behind drivers, only to suddenly vanish. Some say it resembles an old 1940s or 50s model vehicle, sometimes seen with no driver.
Okay. Now, today's day and age, we have Waymo's, so that's not so odd. But just to see an old style car like that, yeah,
an old Skylark or Malibu or whatever
yeah, that would be strange. It'd be very weird.
Howard Street Cemetery.
So these are the ones that really kind of freak me out a little bit, right? Because this has a connection to the Salem witch trials and a vengeful spirit. Tied to the Salem witch trials, especially the restless spirit of Giles Corey. Corey was pressed to death for refusing to enter a plea, and his ghost is said to appear before tragic events in Salem. He was pressed to death.
I just wanted to see what that would be like. I mean, what were they?
Crushed, I would imagine.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
by what? Many visitors report eerie sensations, shadow figures, and ghostly voices. The direct link to the Salem witch trials provides a potent historical backdrop for the reported hauntings. I think I have a story on Corey here.
There he is, the ghost.
Oh, shit. I was trying to clear it so you can see the bottom, but I can't read the bottom because the thing's in the way.
Doesn't it? It never goes away.
Huh? No, it never goes away. Shit.
I'll fill in the blanks.
Okay, you can fill in the blanks.
the part that's covered. The ghost of Giles Corey. Giles Corey, an elderly man accused of witchcraft, was pressed to death under heavy stones in 1692 because he refused to enter a plea. Before he died, he allegedly cursed Salem and its officials. Eyewitness reports, many visitors and ghost hunters claim to have seen the spirit of Giles Corey wandering through the cemetery, sometimes appearing as a shadowy figure or a misty apparition. The curse of Salem. Legend says that whenever Corey's ghost is seen, a great disaster follows. It's like the Mothman.
Right.
He was reportedly seen before the Great Salem Fire of 1914, which destroyed large parts of the city. Some people say they've heard him whispering the words, "More weight." Wow. Those were his final words as he was crushed
under the stones.
So you imagine so he was just being defiant.
Yeah.
They're laying the stones on. Oh, yeah.
More.
I could take more.
I can take
keep
more.
on doing it till he goes, oh, wait. Then he couldn't talk
so
anymore.
There it goes. He used to press people with weight to torture them. We saw an example of it in the Witch Museum. Crazy. Wow. That's pretty fascinating.
Can't say that'd be the way to go.
All right. So paranormal equipment malfunctions. Ghost hunters frequently experience camera malfunctions, drain batteries, and static-filled audio recordings when investigating this area. EVPs, electronic voice phenomenon, captured at the cemetery have repeatedly recorded voices saying, "Help me" or "Leave." Howard Street Cemetery remains a hotspot for paranormal activity, and those who visit often leave with an eerie sense that something or someone is still lingering there. Interesting. I would love to go visit Salem.
I would too.
Be very cool.
Is that Bonaventure? Bonaventure Cemetery in Savannah, Georgia. Beautiful setting with poignant and interactive ghostly presence. Famous for its hauntingly beautiful sculptures and ghostly apparitions. So, is this an actual sculpture there? Is this?
No, that's not AI. That's an actual picture. Yep.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Reported phenomena. The ghost of little Gracie Watson. Yeah. A girl who died young in the 1800s is said to wander near her life-size statue. Visitors report the sounds of a child laughing, and even the statue's eyes follow them, suggesting a more interactive and emotionally evocative haunting.
Oh, yeah. Was it Disneyland? The more interactive experience. The statue follows you.
Wow.
Jesus. All right. So the ghost of little Gracie Watson. One of the most famous spirits in Bonaventure Cemetery is Gracie Watson, a 6-year-old girl who died of pneumonia in 1889. Eyewitness reports visitors have reported seeing a young girl in a white dress playing near her gravesite, only for her to vanish when approached. Some claim to have heard child laughing or crying near her life-size statue. People who leave toys at her grave say they mysteriously move or disappear. Crying statue. The statue of Gracie Watson is said to cry real tears or change facial expressions. Okay.
I would be out of there pretty quick.
Yeah. You think?
Especially you winked at you.
I'm out. See ya. Let me know how it turns out.
I want some candy.
Oh,
the Hell's Gate.
So
legend.
Same cemetery.
So Bonaventure is a venture.
It is a
big adventure. At the back of Bonaventure Cemetery, there's an wait. Oh, okay. Here, I got it now. There's an area rumored to be a portal to hell, known as Hell's Gate. Eyewitness accounts. People walking near the area report feeling intense unease, sudden dizziness, or nausea. Some say they hear phantom screams or whispers. Electronic devices malfunction in this area, and strange red lights have been seen hovering near the trees.
That would be strange.
Especially if they were like really close together, like eyeballs.
Right? Yeah.
Red eyes poking at you.
Wasn't there an investigation we did where we thought we saw that, but turned out to be just a red light? We thought it was eyes or something.
No, that was at Adobe Deli.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Walked into the hallway and it's like, I see these red lights. And I go, oh, shit.
Was it the exit sign or something?
Yeah, it was the exit sign, and it was reflecting off of, there was like a foosball table or something.
That's right.
It was there in the middle of the hallway. And it was just a reflection off of it. But it looked like, I mean, at that height, you know, I could see the exit sign, and
Right.
it didn't look like the exit sign looked like.
That's called heightened senses when we go into this place. So these are always cool. The hanging tree. There's a twisted, gnarled oak tree in the cemetery where people have allegedly hanged in the 1700s and the 1800s. Visitors claim to see shadowy figures hanging from its branches at night. Some say they've heard the sound of a rope cracking as if swaying in the wind, or creaking. Sorry, not cracking, creaking. Paranormal investigators recorded strong EVPs near the tree with voices whispering, "Help me" or "Run." Okay.
Why are those the kind of EVPs you always get?
Help me.
Help me or run or leave.
Yeah, get out of here. I don't know.
Scat.
That's kind of bizarre.
Wow.
Hanging trees are creepy, though.
Oh. Here's another graveyard in Illinois. Resurrection Cemetery. That sounds like a busy place.
There's a good name for a cemetery, right? Resurrection.
Yeah, I want to be buried at Resurrection.
Right? Oh, yeah. Especially if there's a chance, right?
Right on. So it's in Justice, Illinois. Main theme, the legend of vanishing hitchhiker. Key idea or fact, known for the legend of Resurrection Mary, a vanishing hitchhiker ghost. Reported phenomena. Okay. Reports or drivers report picking up a young woman in a white dress who disappears before reaching the cemetery gates. Oh, it's on be hitching a ride to a cemetery.
Right?
At night.
Let's go.
I would pick up that kind of person.
Well, maybe that's, I don't know. Oh, you guys have been there. Man, I'm jealous.
They go all over
I
the
know they
place.
do.
I'm so jealous of them.
Jealous.
That's so cool, though. See, sightings of Resurrection Mary date back, not a one, but the one. Okay, date back to the 1930s and continue to this day, suggesting a persistent and well-known legend.
That just sounded funny when you said that. A Resurrection Mary.
Yeah, there's several. Do you have her story here?
I do.
Oh, there you go.
So, Resurrection Mary, A Resurrection Mary, the vanishing hitchhiker.
This is one possible.
The most famous legend associated with the cemetery is that of Resurrection Mary, a young woman in a white dress who's been seen hitchhiking along Archer Avenue since the 1930s. Eyewitness accounts, numerous drivers, often young men, have picked up a beautiful blonde woman dressed in white who asked for a ride. She remains quiet, directing them along Archer Avenue. But as they pass Resurrection Cemetery, she suddenly vanishes from the vehicle. Okay.
Wait, I didn't get your number.
Yeah. Leaving so soon. Some drivers claim she gets out near the cemetery gates and disappears, while others say she fades right out of the seats. Several cab drivers in the 1970s and 1980s reported picking her up, only for her to mysteriously vanish before paying the fare.
That's her racket. She's a freeloader.
I know some people who would do that, but she's a freeloader. That's funny. Oh man,
wow.
That's crazy though. Can you imagine? Just imagine somebody gets in your car, you're driving down the road, and poof, they're gone. What would you do? Right?
Yeah.
I'd probably crash.
Yeah. I mean, where do you go? I mean, if she was in your car, and I mean, would you
feet away. I mean, she could just as easily appear
Appear
again.
back. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know what I would do. I don't know how.
I guess I'd stop the car and run.
yeah, you can have it.
You can have it. Yep.
Take the car. Oh, that's hilarious.
Ah,
This is interesting.
the burned cemetery gates. So in the 1970s, a man driving past the cemetery saw a woman inside grasping the cemetery gate as if she was trying to escape. The next day, cemetery workers discovered that the metal bars of the gate had been bent and scorched.
Wow.
As if burned by ghostly hands. Many people, it doesn't really say many people, it says many believe. This was Resurrection Mary trying to re-enter her resting place. The scorched bars were later removed, but photographs of the damaged gate still exist.
I couldn't find any. I'm sure if I would have dug longer, I could have found them. But
some real pictures.
Yeah. That's pretty fascinating, though, right? Because you think about we think about what it takes just for us to get an interaction from an entity, right? You know, if we're lucky, we get an EVP. If we're lucky, we get something weird to happen. What kind of energies does it take to burn a gate, to bend a gate, right? I mean, you think about that. That's a tremendous. That's steel.
Yeah. So I guess if you have the heat, then it's easy to bend.
Well, if you have the heat, yeah.
But either or.
How does that
pretty
happen?
Crazy.
That is bizarre.
Wow.
That is bizarre. Yeah, that was.
Have to do more research on this, sir. On all of the Resurrection Marys.
Yeah, it's pretty fascinating. The dancing ghost. Is it? So I guess it's the same Mary. The dancing. Some people have claimed to seen Mary dancing at the Willowbrook Ballroom, formerly the O. Henry Ballroom, which was once her favorite place, one of her favorite places in life. Witnesses have seen a woman in white dancing with an unseen partner or walking around the ballroom only to disappear. God, she's got a habit of disappearing, doesn't she?
Yeah, she does.
Good Lord.
We've got her MO down. Just don't piss her off.
Crazy. So where was I want to go visit that cemetery. That's the one that's in Illinois, huh? Jeez. Man.
Need to go do more graveyards.
I think so. Pretty fascinating, I think.
That was the last story?
That was the last story.
Well, look at the time. That was perfect.
So the cemetery in my Ann video that Christine sent was Greenwood Cemetery. There's a pink lady. Is it pink lady? That is known to appear there. When she appears, you can hear violin music playing.
Huh.
Did you witness that yourself, Christine? Did you see that? Because that's pretty fascinating. That would be cool to see something like that.
Yeah. I would like that. Or would I? Or would they be freaked out? Probably not. There's only one thing that freaks me out, and that's dolls when they move.
Yeah,
they're not supposed to.
That's kind of creepy. But you had a fascinating story though of seeing an apparition off of the side of the road. Two, as a matter of fact,
two apparitions. Yeah, and I was passing that area just within the last couple of weeks, thinking about it because that field that I saw the two girls wander off into at 2:00 in the morning. They're building houses there. It made me wonder. I wonder if they're going to have any activity in there. So yeah, one night driving home from after doing it
was a gig, wasn't it? Or was it a?
No, we did. It was one of our paranormal things, or it was maybe it was our because it was like 2:00.
It was Skies, wasn't it? Skies? Didn't we do the investigation of Skies when you saw it?
Yeah. That sounds about right. So it probably was the gig, but it wouldn't have been Skies because I was getting off of the 202. And if I was coming home from Skies, I would have stayed on University. But it just, from what I remember, it had to do something with one of our paranormal night things that we had done. So it may have been, I wouldn't be coming home that late from doing a show.
No.
I don't remember now. what I was coming back from. I just remember I was already in the mindset of, sensitivity or whatever from doing that. And I pull off the 202 onto University, and off to my right, walking down the sidewalk towards me, I see two girls in 50s kind of dress, and like a cardigan sweater and those really what I'd call a poodle skirt, but they didn't have poodles on them, but that kind of a skirt. And they were both carrying period correct luggage. And as I get closer to them, they get right to where the field starts, and they both head off into the field, into the darkness.
I remember you because didn't you text me or call me or something?
I had to let everybody know that. Yeah, that was just. It's like, wait, what did I just see? That didn't really make sense for where I'm at 2:00 in the morning.
Right?
Where these two girls come from, and where did they go? So yeah, it was weird, but yeah, they're building houses there now. So.
They moved the headstones, but they didn't move the bodies. It's going to be interesting. Okay, your great grandparents are laid to rest there. Cemetery. Oh, you're saying there's a woman, black cape, who stands over her grave. I did see that. It was during a full moon. Wow, that's creepy. That's very cool.
Yeah.
I was, to say I was a little disappointed when we did the cemeteries. I was a little disappointed because I was expecting something. I expected to walk in there and get something. Now, we got our normal ghost tube responses, but I expected something a little different. I mean, the chanting was weird.
But we didn't know about the chanting till
we reviewed
after.
It.
Yeah. When we were reviewing the stuff. So, and it gave me chills when I heard the chanting.
Yeah. It was because we knew there was nobody there. It was an interesting night too, because we let the lady who owned the cemetery or ran the cemetery was incredibly nice, right? We told her we were going in there. She let us go in there. She notified the police that we were going to be in there, so they didn't think we were trespassing because it closed down after dark. And we were there till probably midnight, right? Wasn't it around midnight? We stayed till at least 11 or midnight.
Or it even could have been later.
It might have been. But it was a real cool experience. I would go back there.
Beautiful during the day.
Oh, it was gorgeous.
It had those tiny little, were they yellow flowers or white flowers or whatever?
Yellow.
They were yellow all over the ground. And it was pretty.
Yeah, if you guys go back and watch our season 2, Terror and Payson.
Yeah.
It's that episode. That was cool. We went for a different reason and got some cool stuff out of it. I mean, that trail that we went down and everything with all the cars down at the bottom of the basin, that was really cool.
For urban explorers, I mean, it was just really, it was great for that kind of stuff.
And we ran into the antique store, which we never anticipated, right? That was kind of a last minute thing. So we investigated in the antique store.
Yeah. I was so stoked when they said we could come back and do that night.
That was a cool place.
Yeah.
That was an interesting place.
Serendipity. Wasn't it?
That's right. It was Serendipity. Yeah. Yeah. Very cool place. I don't think Lindsay thought it was very cool because she kind of had that attachment.
Oh yeah, she did.
That wasn't a good night.
Yeah.
But
it was pretty heavy for her.
Yeah. But the graveyard was cool. That was a lot of fun. Did we spend 2 nights there?
It had to have been.
Yeah, it had to be because we did the graveyard the one night. We went back into the antique store the next night.
Yeah.
Where the hell did we stay? We stayed in a hotel room? I don't remember where we stayed.
We did. I don't remember the hotel room, but I remember the getting up in the morning and cracking one of those Bigfoot.
Oh God, those horrible beers. I do remember now. Okay, now I remember. It's all coming back to me now.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Disgusting beer. It was terrible. Oh, and we went to dinner at the Oxbow, didn't we? Didn't we go eat?
That's right, we did. Yeah.
So that was a cool little trip for us.
Payson's a great place.
Yeah.
But before we leave this conversation tonight,
okay.
because, our graveyards, like I said, kind of early on, are like museums for history and stuff.
Mhm.
But how much longer will there be
Oh, that's right.
fresh graves going into graveyards? I mean, will they always be around to, once fresh graves are not going in, and that generation that goes and visits dies off and has no reason to go visit, are they what, and why are there no fresh graves or lesser fresh graves?
Right.
Lesser fresh graves. Why? I think everybody knows, but
Well,
I was shocked at the numbers.
Well, here we go. Let's bring them up. So the ratio of cremation to burial in the U.S. over the past 100 years, in 1924, the cremation rate was 0.24%, right? So a quarter of a percent. 2024, the cremation rate is projected to be 61.9%. That is a staggering jump.
Yeah, it is.
Right? If you think about it. And I think it was this one. Kind of shows the cremation rate from 1960 to what they anticipate to be in 2035.
So it just really took off after what, 1985s were really
well, between
started.
75 and 85, it doubled. So 75 was 6.55. In 85, it jumped to 13.86. And then it just kind of steadily climbed from there.
And yes, Mama, it is the expense. It's much cheaper to be cremated than it is to be buried.
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting. You see cremation going up, burials going down.
This one goes to 2040, or it brings it up to almost 80% at that point.
Right, yeah.
So that 20% is probably family plots that have been in the family, or, family graveyards, whatever.
They've had their plots picked out for a long time. That's pretty fascinating because it's not like we're not going to run out of land, right? I mean, we got plenty of land.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, here in Arizona, we got plenty of land. So,
but I guess you think about it. I mean, look at, and I know it's a recreation, I think, in Tombstone, the up Boot Hill.
Yeah.
Because where they're showing Boot Hill is in the actual Boot Hill. But,
right.
There are those graveyards out there like that are just abandoned, grown over, and forgotten.
Yeah.
So who will carry on?
It's interesting, huh?
Yeah.
What's your preference?
I'm going to go for cremation.
Are you?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't made up my mind yet. I don't know.
Yeah. And it's because of the expense.
Yeah.
It's like, I think it's a really bad real estate choice. You can't resell it.
No.
Unless you resell it before you get buried in it.
Right.
I mean, I know people that have, in fact, I think my parents had bought a bunch of plots in the cemetery where my grandparents are, and my parents that was where they planned.
Right.
But they'd since moved. And so when my mom passed, she wasn't buried there. So I think they did make some money off selling those plots, from the time they bought them. So that was a good investment. But, once it's used, I don't think you can resell it.
Well, I think too, you also have the religious aspect, right? Because I think there are some religions that are against cremation. Mm-hmm. So you always have to factor that in too. But
yeah,
I mean, sure,
I respect that.
Yeah, I'm sure that's the way I'm going to go eventually is cremation. I just haven't decided yet.
Yeah, that's what how many generations I haven't. Man, even when I've had opportunities, when I've been back up in Salt Lake, I haven't gone to visit my grandparents' graves. I visited my mom's when I've been in St. George.
Yeah.
But I wasn't able to this last time. So, I mean, how how soon does that fade away? You know,
I don't know.
generationally.
I think it depends,
So,
right?
yeah.
I mean,
It's just kind of sad.
yeah. I mean, my one grandmother was cremated. My other one was buried in a cemetery in the Bronx in New York, and I've never had the opportunity to go back to visit her grave. I'd like to, but you know, I live 3,000 miles away, so
Right.
you know, not that it's an excuse, but you know, it's difficult. And I think some people, you know, experience the same thing. I mean, I don't know. I have mixed. You know, to me, you want to remember somebody for what they did in life or what they are in death. You know what I mean?
Right. No,
It's like,
it's their
you know,
life.
to me,
Yeah.
your memories are what you hold inside when those people are gone.
Yeah.
You know,
Now, did I tell you, you know, when I was in Texas, the drummer I was working with passed.
yeah, you did say that.
And he was cremated, but they had found little drumsticks. I mean, like regular drumsticks.
Yeah, but
they
mini.
were mini that they would unscrew, and they put his ashes in those little
Really?
drumsticks and gave those to family members.
That's very cool.
Yeah. And then he had his practice drum kit that stayed in the band. And Don had found like a little tiny drum set too that was a tiny urn that
Really?
that he puts his ashes in. He was going to affix that at the bottom of the kick drum, and that was the house set. So whoever
Goes with
comes
them
and plays
everywhere.
there would always be, you know,
That's kind
the
of cool.
house
I
kit
mean,
there.
that's
So that's the way he's going to be remembered.
yeah. Yep, it's true.
Mhm. We did have fun tonight, didn't we?
It was a good show.
Dan, you might even like this coffee. I don't know.
The beer,
Yeah, coffee. That's what it tastes
coffee
like.
beer. It does taste like coffee, kind of. So it's interesting. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed tonight's episode. Anyway, I mean, we've always been fascinated by graveyards. Didn't mean to get off on the morbid topic of death, but it's kind of what we're talking about tonight. So you know,
Yeah, everybody's gonna, have to deal with it.
Yep.
At some point.
eventually.
Yeah.
But please don't forget to go like, share, and subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. We greatly appreciate it. And do make sure you go check out our Patreon page. There's a lot of cool stuff on there. You get to see when you become a member. It's not very expensive per month. We try to keep it cheap for you guys, but hopefully to give you guys something back in return. So we would greatly appreciate it. And look for more behind the scenes footage coming from our movie.
So we still have plenty.
We still have plenty to come.
Lots on that cutting room floor.
Yes. Waiting to be uploaded.
Well, we love y'all. Appreciate you tuning in.
Yeah, we still have beer left to cheers. Look at that. How do we
I know.
talk? We talked too much tonight.
We
didn't
did.
drink
I
enough,
guess there was a
so-
lot to talk about
we have
because
to
you had
finish it
some
up.
good presentation there to read.
Right. There you go.
I am definitely finishing it though.
All right. Well, cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
We'll see you next time.
Welcome to the truth about beer.